Hey guys, this is Seafood Richard from Wong Wing Chun here in Anaheim. This is my brother,
Jason.
Seafood Jason. And today we're going to talk about a very important topic, like how to throw a powerful punch. The reason why you want to learn that is because in a street fight, if someone gets into your face, and you need to do something real fast, the quickest way to hurt someone and make them knock back a little bit is to throw a straight punch right in their face, right? If let's say me and Jason we're arguing and I'm coming in here like this, it's best for him to hold his hand up, and even before I swing, he punches me in the face real fast, right? Preemptive strike, if you're concerned for your safety. That's why we're going to show you today how to throw a powerful punch. I even got notes right here. So, all right, let's get started. So, the first point we want to make, right? What's the first point?
Proper alignment. When you throw a punch, make sure that it's properly aligned. The main point is that when you punch, especially in Wing Chun, because we need to punch in such a short distance, we don't want our elbow flaring out. So what I mean is this. So when Richard punches me, right, this is really good if it's fully straightened out. If he punches with the other hand, same thing, this is really good and I'm right here. But if he punches me again, right, and I come in, and even if he hits me, right, this is no longer as powerful. So, but if he has his elbow down, it doesn't matter if I'm really close to him or not, this is gonna be really powerful. Okay, one way to test
It's like
this out,
an uppercut, right?
Yeah,
it's very similar to an uppercut. It creates an alignment. That's why Wing Chun, we punch with our elbow, pointing down
this
to the
little
ground.
point right here where it starts bending, see that little sharp point? At all times of my punch, it's pointing straight down. Even just a little flaring out, what you'll see is this. So Richard pulls out his hand and locks it, right? And I tap it, right? The moment that this breaks, all the force goes into his shoulder muscle. Okay. Now
it disperses, right?
Yes, it disperses. Now the only way he can still punch strong is he needs to have a strong shoulder muscle. But if his hand is here, right, even if it's bent a little bit, you can see if he kind of holds it, that it goes into his whole body. Right? So if he holds it right there, see, it's nice and strong into his body. Versus here, see,
it's gonna put a lot of strain on your shoulder, and that's why in boxing you guys will never see a good boxer throw a bunch of jabs and crosses when they're up
really
close, right? When we're in the confrontational situation where we're one arm length away, right? You're not gonna be able to one arm length away is perfect, right? But let's say we're just a little bit closer. Now it's much harder to throw a punch like this, right? Because it's much easier for him to block. That's why boxers, they start using hooks. But here's the solution for that in Wing Chun. You keep your elbow tucked in, boom, boom, right? Easy. So alignment. Here, it aligns, elbow, boom, and it aligns with my knuckle too. You gotta make sure the knuckle and the wrist, elbow aligns. And because the elbow is tucked down, it's supported by the whole body, right? Versus this, even if you align the big knuckle like this is total alignment. That's the point where you're gonna generate the most power, right? But once it goes here, now that's how you break your fucking wrist too, right? It's no longer aligned. Versus this, it's still aligned. It just goes back and forth into your body, kind of like dips, right? Right, Jules?
Yes.
All right. So next point is, to generate power, all power is speed and strength. Strength, let me dumb it down for you. Strength, it's for example, you're doing a dumbbell curls, right? Going slow. You can lift 80 pounds of dumbbell curls. You can go slow and lift it up. That's called strength, right? But speed is boom, the pop in your punch. Doesn't matter if it's boxing or Wing Chun. It's the speed. The speed is the time, from distance A to B, how fast you can go, right? 1 to 2, from point 1 to point 2. when you combine speed and the strength, you create power, right? That's why Mike Tyson uses his whole body, boom, a powerful uppercut, because he's super jacked from all the push-ups, his pull-ups, sit-ups, whatever, and it's a lot of power packed in one person, plus the speed of his movement. The speed doesn't have to be the pop from the arm. It could be the fact that I'm moving in and punching. Like from point A, my fist, see how my fist move? So if I step and boom, that's gonna be more powerful than if I just use my hand, snap it like that, right? Because I'm adding the speed from my foot, the velocity, right, into my punch, right? So the point is, when you throw a punch, you gotta add speed. You're gonna use both speed. Like, speed is more important than strength, because when you throw a punch, when you squeeze your muscle, it's gonna slow you down, right? Why don't you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, if I'm tensing up all the time before I'm punching, everything is super slow. So I'm basically like a statue right here, like nice and tight. But what people do to generate power is you gotta be relaxed enough, and at that last moment of impact, you squeeze lightly. So that's when you use your power, is when you make that impact. And then, especially in Wing Chun, you should be relaxed the whole time. I can have my open hand, and then it can turn into a punch.
Yeah, the structure creates the power, right? It goes back to alignment. Like, the fist will be loose, and it'll naturally squeeze, like, over time, if you train it, into alignment, and then boom, it's not even, you don't need a lot of strength to punch hard. Like, we're just explaining to you the concept behind power. You can add strength, like boom, like fast, and like use a lot of power, like squeeze into the punch if you wanna, punch a really strong punch.
Right.
But in Wing Chun, we're risk averse, meaning that we don't like taking risks, so we utilize speed more.
Yeah.
In a fight, speed is more deadly, because boom, into the eyes, right? Boom,
You punch me
in
first.
the throat,
Yeah.
right? Speed.
And the way Wing Chun punch works is if he's throwing the punch, for example, his hand would be loose all the way until the moment of impact, where it squeezes lightly, and then he's back. Because sometimes people, when he's punching me, right, if he's kind of squeezing, trying to punch me and knock me out, a lot of times they're punching you too. So you risk, by what he says by risk averse, is you risk trying to knock me out, right? Like
I'm so focused on trying to hit him that
And
I
he's
can
not-
get countered very easily.
Right.
If you're relying on strength when you're punching. So what you need to do is like loosen up, shake it up like Conor McGregor, right? Or what's that?
That's Conor McGregor.
What's that thing? The Harlem Shake.
Oh.
Yeah, kind of like that, but it's the same idea. You stay loose, and it's a pop, right? Pop, right? Pop. It doesn't matter what martial art you're doing. If you don't got the pop in your punch, you're not gonna have a hard punch. It doesn't matter if you're a bodybuilder, right? A bodybuilder cannot punch harder than Mike Tyson. That's a fact, right? Arnold in his prime is stronger than Mike Tyson, but he'll never be able to punch harder than Mike Tyson, because he's not able to generate the speed with the strength, right? And then the last point is, you gotta use the whole body. Just like Mike Tyson, if you look at his whole the video, he's boom, in his uppercuts, right? He's throwing his body into it, right? In the same way in Wing Chun, we have something called Cho Ma, like turning. We turn our body into our blocks, into our punches. Like when I punch, I'm not just gonna like, if you hold your hand up, right? I'm not just gonna do this, right? I'm gonna turn and punch, right? I'm not just gonna do this. I'm gonna step and punch. See how I took the lead step? Like left foot step, right? Kind of like boxing, like jab, right? But with Wing Chun, boom, same exact thing, right? Boom, boom, 1, 2. That combines the step and body punch. 1, 2. That's the knockout right there. 1, 2 punch. That's it, right? So 3. Remember the 3 main concepts, guys. The first one is alignment. You gotta make sure everything is nice and straight. Just like a spear. If the front of the spear is like crooked, you stab something, it's gonna break, right? Same thing with your hand, your wrist. If it's not aligned, it's gonna break your hand, break your wrist. Number 2 is power. You need speed and you need strength. Strength comes from, doing push-ups, doing pull-ups. And then speed comes from staying loose, like stretching, practicing martial arts, getting that pop, right? Creating power. And also stepping, footwork, that generates speed too, because speed adds on, right? Like when I step and I punch, it increases the speed, the distance from point A to point B, right? And lastly, what's the last point? Use your whole body, right? When in martial arts, you don't just do this. You use your whole body to fight, okay? That's kind of like Bruce Lee. He uses his whole body. That's why he's able to generate a lot of power. All right, guys, so that's it for today. Follow us on Instagram. We'll put up links. It's at Wong Wing Chun. Like it's Wong _Long _Wing _Chun. And we're also on Facebook, Wong Wing Chun headquarters, USA. And we got a website, wingchunanaheim.com, if you want to check us out and come train with us locally. Okay, guys, once again, this is Sifu Richard and my brother Sifu Jason. Okay.